there we go. Welcome once again to another exciting episode of Empower Volusia Common Sense. And we're coming to you hidden in an iron bunker in an undisclosed location somewhere in the highlands of West Volusia County. And we're guarded here by 2 rabid Pomeranians and 1 crazy cat. That's right. You can hear us on YouTube, iTunes, we're at Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere you want to be, and on the World Wide Web at www.jasondavispodcast.com. If you want to drop me a little line there, just go ahead and do the same thing. Go to jasondavispodcast@gmail.com, and I'll get your message, and we'll look into some topics or discuss whatever you wish to discuss there. So anyways, the national politics on the scene. It's there all the time. The Trump train is rolling, and the psychos are out there talking about how we're going to impeach the President of the United States. Let's see, for the 3rd year and running. Yeah. But you know what? I think it's time now that I'm time to get back to some local politics, and it's time once again to focus on Volusia County, Florida. So let us start with the subject matter everybody really likes to talk about when we talk about politics. How about that, huh? Yeah, let's talk about, taxes.
You can't handle the truth!
Now, when I was running for office and when I was in office, my premise was to lower taxes every chance I got. But I haven't seen that much of that conversation in the latest rounds of attempted taxation here on Volusia County and its citizens. If at any time anybody ever brought up the request for a half-cent sales tax, I immediately said, I'm not interested in that. I wouldn't support it. I could just see the sales of pitchforks and torches starting to go up, even if someone thought about bringing up the subject of a half-cent sales tax. The old, we're taxed enough already kind of thing. In other words, we're taxed enough, folks. We don't need any more, Yet at the beginning of this year, we went through a round of a special vote. Had to be a special vote in March or April, and it was to raise our sales tax a half a cent. Where in the words of the county chair, Mr. Ed Kelly, the information is right here, as he waved his little piece of paper around. It's right here. But to be honest, I don't think there was any information on that piece of paper that would have swayed the vote one way or the other. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if there was any information on it at all. Nobody saw the paper. The citizens do not want it. They don't want to raise in their taxes. They don't trust the government with spending the money appropriately, and it would be a failing issue. Once again, I was right. The vote failed. They did not raise our sales tax. That is true. That's what happened.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Because our elected leaders didn't listen to the will of the people. See, while I was in office, I was absolutely against any kind of tax, property tax or sales tax increase. The real facts of the matter are this. We pay the 2nd highest millage rate in taxes in the state. Yeah. We do here in Volusia County. We are the 2nd highest millage rate paying county in the state. Oh, and by the way, the county officials, all the bureaucrats there, will argue that point to the end. We're not. We're like 43rd or 42nd or 36th. No, we're not. We pay one of the highest rates of millage on our property taxes.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
After a year and a half of constant fighting and discussion and debate, I was finally able to reduce the millage rate in Volusia County properties. Not by a lot, but I was able to do it. I was able to speak to even some of the taxing authorities in Volusia County, like all 3 of the hospital authorities. And I was able to get one of them to reduce some of their millage rate, although I think they were really going to do it anyways. But you know what? I'll take the win. I will. To be quite honest, and this is coming from a past politician, somebody who knows, that's me, the best person to spend your money is you. That's right. Well, let's take a prime example here. For example, one of our taxing authorities, the Volusia County School Board. $995 million in their budget. Wow. Almost $1 billion. $5 million shy of that. You know what that equates to roughly $15,500 spent every school year per child in Volusia County for their education. And just as a subnote, that means there are 63,000 students in Volusia County, which is true. If we're spending, $15,500 per student per year, we should be cranking out some pretty big geniuses, wouldn't you think? But some of our schools are failing. They're getting F's and D's and C's and on their annual report cards from the state. It's a very sad situation indeed. Of course, that $15,500 per student goes to pay for school buildings, yes, school buses, teachers, principals, vice principals, school nurses, etc., 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 ad infinitum ad nausea. In other words, it is the support for the student. Think that through. This $15,500 every year is spent in support of that student getting an annual education every year. But that does not negate the fact that the school board of Volusia County, almost $1 billion to spend for education. Apparently they're not spending the money, maybe too wisely.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
So this is part of the taxation thing that's going on all around this county here. They get money. They say, we're going to use it for this and this and this and this and this. They spend all that money, $1 billion on a school system. We pay taxes on properties. We pay taxes on our car tags. Every year it's a tax. We pay a sales tax when we buy something. They tax our water. They tax everything except for the air you breathe. And if they could find a way to do that, they would probably be paying a tax for that. Well, there is actually proposed in the Green New Deal a tax for just breathing. Plus, in the very near future, our county taxes are going to go pay for a homeless shelter debacle. That's right. This grand hotel they're building out there across the street from the county jail, the one that is supposed to not draw homeless people here. It's not. No, they're not going to come here for that. Oh, no. It's a way to help them get back on their feet. I call BS. There's got to be another way. And I fought to find a different way to do this versus building a multi-million-dollar Taj Mahal for the homeless people, who, by the way, will get better food than we give our own children. They'll get better health care than you or I can get from any insurance company. And all the free stuff they can carry in their little grocery carts as they walk away from the homeless shelter as they vacate it every single morning. Oh, yeah. They will have to leave the facilities in the morning, go back to their little street corner, beg for money or whatever they're begging for, only to return so they can have a nice, clean, dry, warm place to sleep at night. Maybe that situation should change a little bit, and I think I might just work on a plan here for you. And there'll be something in the future, just throwing that out there. So, why do I bring up these situations and these issues? Because the local politicians and the local politics, it's starting to heat up.
Let's get ready to rumble!
People are starting to put their names on the ballot as candidates to run for elected positions in Volusia County. Of course, the old man, Ed Kelly, the self-proclaimed patriarch of Volusia County, is looking to run for re-election. His challenger, Jeff Brower, is coming up right behind him. The questions now we have to ask ourselves are things like this. We need to educate ourselves on the history of our elected officials and what they say on the campaign trail or what they have said on the campaign trail in the past. We need to look at their history, and are they ready to start to fulfill the promises they make? Let's be realistic. I was there. Ed Kelly said he'll leave the beach alone. He didn't. It wasn't even 6 months into his term. Cars were being removed from the beach. He said, we won't raise your taxes, and the first thing out of the boot, he's starting to work on the third year here. Yeah, third year in his office. They're working on a 0.5-cent sales tax, and every year since, they have raised our property taxes. So we need to weigh these against the claims and promises being made to us by those who are not in office and are running for that position. Are they fulfilling their promises to us, or are the new people making promises they can actually keep? I'm going to give them all a little key point here. Read the county charter. Everybody, you need to read the county charter to find out exactly what the responsibilities and the duties are of these people in office. Just as a little subtext there. By far, most of the promises made in the past have not been kept. Nope, because they will make a promise that is not within their authority. Every year for the past 3 years, our taxes have been raised in accordance to what is suggested by county staff. This is not something that any of these council members do. They don't sit and go through 67 different budgets, and because that's how many departments there are, and say, okay, we'll give them more money, we'll not do this, we'll do this. They don't do that. That's the duty of staff. And under the direction of the present county chair, cars, of course, I've said before, have been not allowed to park on certain sections of the beach anymore. Let's look at the Hard Rock. Boom, gone. And once you remove cars from a beach in an area, it's a done deal. You can't put them back. Deals were made during my tenure in the county council, which I had a feeling these companies would not be able to keep them. These deals have been thrown to the wayside, and the new regime has just gone willy-nilly, allowing the big money donors to dictate what happens in Volusia County. Well, all promised to be ultimate conservatives, save you money, do what's right for our communities, help out the citizens of Volusia County. That's what every one of those people sitting on the dais has stated they were going to do. Unfortunately, all of them but one have been acting like liberals, giving away the farm, voting to build and support a useless homeless shelter, and to fight the will of the people. When we passed Amendment 10 statewide, the county staff is still trying to file a lawsuit to change the will of the people of this state under the direction of the county council. Let me say that again. The county council has directed this county staff to file a lawsuit to change the will of the people when we passed with 70-some-odd% Amendment 10. And why are they doing this? Why are they doing all this underhanded backroom dealings, which they are doing? It's a simple answer, folks. All you got to do is just follow the money. And here's one of the reasons why they're fighting Amendment 10. With the passing of Amendment 10, the county manager loses a lot of his authority when it comes over the offices of the sheriff, the clerk of the court, the county clerk, the Department of Elections, and it creates the elected office of tax collector. Now, that last position takes all financial power away from the county management. And it puts it, plus it also takes the authority away from the investment account that Volusia County has. What? An investment account? Yes, there's an investment account with over $500 million in it, and it gives that responsibility of that money to the elected official. And that elected official is answerable to the people of the county, because if you don't do the right thing, we're going to take you out of there and put somebody else in. Yeah, that's what elections are for. Just for all you people, that's not what impeachment's for. That's what elections are for. You see, our county manager and county attorney, and as a matter of fact, all of our staff, are not answerable to the citizens of Volusia County. The manager and the county attorney are only answerable to the Volusia County Council, and the county council just to throw another little fly in the ointment, cannot get involved in matters of employment, personnel, or day-to-day operations of any department in the Volusia County government. That's in the charter. Hey, read it, folks. You'd be really surprised. Yeah, county council is buffaloed every 2 weeks by staff members who give them information, just enough information to get issues passed. You know what, folks? You might not like this, but guess what? It's time for you to wake up. So we need to look at our elected officials, as I've said, find out who is voting for taxes. Who is voting to throw our money to the wind, for example, to fund this Taj Mahal homeless shelter? Who is really taking cars off the beach? So now you have no place to park your car on a nice weekend when you want to just spend it with the kiddies, frolicking in the waves of the world's most famous beach. The time has come, my dear friends and fellow citizens, that we become empowered. Hence the name, Empower Volusia. Take our government back, which was guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States to be run by we the people. Go to your meetings, of your parties. Go to the meetings at, things like PLDRC. That's a planning and zoning board. Go to county council meetings. Go to water management meetings. Go to all the meetings that the county council is at and ask them the questions that I can almost guarantee you they don't have an answer for. When it came to water issues on the Intercoastal Waterway, our county officials said, no, we won't support this. Yet, just a few weeks ago, I saw in the News Journal how all of a sudden they're all concerned about the Intercoastal Waterway and Oak Hill. It's a talking point, folks. That's all they want it for. Even though the organization that had this idea had a plan and was not asking for any money from Volusia County. They didn't. They came there and said, look, all we need is your support, an endorsement, so to speak, so that we could get government grants. That's all that was about. But, nope. They didn't get that. As a matter of fact, the people that were talked to that said, this is a great idea, I think we could support this, didn't. Why? Because it was a plan that the county chair at the time got and came with and worked through and made all the work, did all the work, all the background work on this thing, and came up with a plan to fix the problem. Kind of like Trump. They couldn't give him a win. Well, even though private organization came to Volusia County again and said, I want to make a movie commission, which will bring literally billions of dollars to Volusia County. The movie industry is it's actually a multi-trillion-dollar industry nowadays. But here we go. They wanted to bring a movie commission, which would be a private organization that would, help people get permits done and show them properties that they could rent or properties that were in public domain that they could utilize and get permits and do this and do that and do everything it takes to get people to make a movie in Volusia County. The last movie that was made here was Tomorrowland in New Smyrna Beach. Good movie. I liked it. Disney came in and said, we're going to make this movie. Of course, when Disney walks in, everybody goes, oh, yes, and bows down. But nobody else can come and make a movie here. No. You know what? The Volusia County Council told this lady that was working very hard for almost 2 years to get this pushed through, talked with everybody who said, yeah. Oh, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. Came to the point of the vote on the council and the county council. It was a 3-4 vote. I know I was there. The answer was no.
I'm as stupid as a stupid goes.
Folks, it's time for us to go to the voting booth and start to vote in the people that will actually get the job done and quit being a bunch of talking heads and, people who just want their face in the news. Somebody up there with some common sense that'll get the job done. We don't need any more adversarial discussions up there. We don't need any fighting or name-calling done on a dais. I wouldn't stand for it. I stopped arguments when people started to get a little out of hand. That's the power of the gavel. We need our elected officials to start doing the will of the people. Because, surprise, 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 folks, we are their boss. They are only there at the pleasure of the citizens of Volusia County. They are not there because they are entitled to be there. They are not there because they are the best at... Oops, sorry about that. I just whacked the old microphone. They're not there because they are the most wonderful adversarial person. No, they are there because they're there at our pleasure. Not for their pleasure, but they are there at our pleasure. At best, guess is the best way to state that. You are there on that council doing the will of the people, supposedly, at our pleasure, and not for your pleasure. We put you there. And I said this once before, and everybody raised a fuss with me. You know what? We put you there. We will take you out of there. In other words, folks, you don't like the way they're doing business up there? Don't re-elect them. Vote them out. You don't like the people that are sitting in a Congress? Vote them out. You don't like the people sitting in the Senates? Vote them out. You don't like the people sitting on the dais in Volusia County government? Vote them out. We put you there. We will take you out. In other words, folks, it's time for you to do the research. I'll do as much as I can to help you. But you have to do your own research. Find out who's going to do what. Who voted how. Do they support the issues that are important to you? Just remember that. Just because you've been sitting up there in elected office for 14, 15, 20 years, and there's a couple of them up there, doesn't mean you're entitled to be there. You better do your job when we elect you to do the job. So find out who's going to do what. In the case of the county chair, is Ed Kelly going to satisfy and do the things that you need him done? Or is this Jeff Brower guy, is he going to come up and do like I did? Trust me, I warned you all, Ed Kelly was going to be a tax and spend county chair. Surprise, he was going to take cars off the beach. Surprise, he was going to support the homeless shelter debacle that, believe it or not, over 58% of the people in Volusia County are against. Surprise, when you put a past mayor, in a county position, you have a tax and spend person, and the only thing they care about is what they used to do. I only care about the cities. He supports CRAs. He supports the bad things. So who is going to be the best person for any of these jobs up there? You need to do your research. Find out if they're going to do the job you want them to do. Then, ladies and gentlemen, you go in November to that voting booth. You close that little curtain behind you, and you start to vote. And you start voting by using now a little common sense.